We have learned in the last 2 months there are still gaps. We are going to seal the gaps. We will stay there as long as it takes. I want to assure the people of Samburu County and all the other counties affected, including counties affected by this menace, but which are not part of the operation yet. I want to assure them the crime of violent cattle theft, rustling, banditry, and visiting terror on the public by criminals. We will make sure that that culture and that practice is finished and it will be part of the history of Kenya. We are determined to do whatever it takes. It takes a while because of the intricacies involved, but Honorable Speaker, we are on course and we will win the war. It's either Kenya or bandits. It's either the law or crime. One has to give way. Kenya will not give way. The government will not give way. The people of Kenya will not give way. Bandits, criminals, have to give way. Honorable Speaker, with regard to the second part of the question, I would like to respond as follows. The measures that we are taking, other than the military and police action to flush out criminals, includes improving our intelligence so that we work on intelligence-based and intelligence-led security. We've made great strides in strengthening multi-agency intelligence sharing even within the organs of the national security. Within the National Intelligence Service, National Police Service, other agencies that are involved in the security of our country, we are investing heavily on intelligence. And the same way, Mr. Speaker, the enhancement of intelligence-led security has helped us to contain the threat of terrorism. I am convinced beyond doubt that Kenya will win against bandits through intelligence-led security operations. Number two, we have deployed and enhanced the Special Operation Group, which is one of the formed units of the National Police Service. And Mr. Speaker, for the information of the House, the future of our country winning over sophisticated and complex crime, including banditry, terrorism, drug trafficking, the future is in the specialized formed units of the National Police Service. We have a number of these formed units: Special Operations Group, the Rapid Deployment Unit, the Anti-Stock Theft Unit, and others, including the General Service Unit. These are our frontline soldiers in the fight against complex crime. And therefore, with regard to the measures taken in Samburu West, we have deployed in the last few weeks the Special Operation Group, which helped us a great deal 2 months ago to stabilize Samburu North, the area of Baragoi. There were gunshots every day, deaths and bloodshed every day. But the Senator of Samburu and the people of Samburu will tell you from December last year, that area has been cleared. And the challenge we have, Mr. Speaker, and we call upon Parliament, the two houses of Parliament, to support our security sector. The investments required in the specialized training of these formed units is so high, yet the results are extremely precious for this country. The war against terror was won by the formed units, including, of course, the anti-terror police unit. The war on banditry will be won by a mixture of general policing, but also the use of fob units. And therefore, we will require the support of the House. So the way we've done with Baragoi, we are now putting SOG on other parts of Samburu and also on other parts of the affected counties, even those that are not within the operation area. And I can report to the House that on Friday, I'll be visiting Elgeyo Marakwet to see the deployment of SOG because of the Koloa Bridge and the problems we've had in Marakwet East between Tiati and Marakwet. There has been cross-border raids of late. We have sealed off that area now. It's going to be a thing of the past. And so gradually we are winning the war. We'll invest in peace building. Shortly we are starting a peace engagement, community-led peace engagement and peace building activities in all these areas because we thought we stabilized the areas first before we engage in peace building. We will also do disarmament. But we've taken our time first to stabilize and silence the guns. We must disarm the public. Mr. Speaker, I want to assure the nation through this House, every criminal holding firearms illegally must surrender them. They either surrender the firearm or we will take it by all means possible. And therefore, we will have a disarmament plan. We'll have a radicalization plan because just like terrorism, banditry and cattle rustling has now assumed some radical ideological leanings where the people doing it are no longer doing it for culture. They are not just doing it for money. It's beyond enterprise. It's beyond culture. Increasingly, there is an ideology by those criminals that you can actually harass the public and take their property and kill them and terrorize and look important. And I want to assure the people of Kenya we will defeat bandits. I don't know how it will take, but we'll defeat them, and banditry will be part of Kenyan history. Mr. Speaker, if we had continued to allow what was happening by the time the Kenya Kwanza administration came to office and the few months after, if we had left that to continue, we would have had serious security agencies because we feared that even international terrorist networks would have infiltrated some of these groupings and complicated those matters. So, Mr. Speaker, finally, we are investing in long-term rejuvenation of the region which is affected with social amenities, public infrastructure. We are negotiating with our counterparts in the Ministry of Water, Ministry of Roads, Ministry of Energy, so that whatever quota of development projects, whatever development projects that are being launched or being planned are being funded for water, for schools, for hospitals, we are requesting for security reasons to get an enhanced quota, an enhanced package for those areas so that we open northern part of Kenya, including Samburu, and make sure that these places are also empowered, they are opened up, and I keep on saying, Mr. Speaker, the future of Kenya is in the north. There is land, there are resources, there is potential for investment. If we can silence the guns and make them safe places, the future of Kenya 100 years from now, 200 years from now is in the north of our country. I have looked at the case studies of different countries. I believe the future of this country is in the almost 3/4 of our country that is facing insecurity. If we can sort out security, that is where the future economic strength of our country will be. The same way California, in the middle of a desert, today is the backbone of the American economy. and many other countries, Australia and other places, where desert territories have been turned into economic anchors for the country. Lastly,